August 27th, 2019. Over My Dead Body aired today. Howie and I are going to try and listen to the whole thing today. After hearing episodes 1 and 2, Howie had to leave to do physical therapy for his back, so I figured I'd get the answers out onto Facebook because people are going to ask. I'm listening to Over My Dead Body and I'm about halfway through episode 2. I subscribe to Wondery Plus so I can listen to the whole season now. I know some people are going to wonder about the restraining order. I told the reporter this, and it was recorded online and in an online post in 2013, but I think they left this part out to make the episode more titillating. Quote, Don Lewis used to bring home everything he could buy. Trucks, boats, planes, baby strollers, clothing, everything he saw at a yard sale, and treasures he would find in dumpsters. He covered the top of this 40 acres with his hoarding. He went to Costa Rica once a month, and every time he was gone, I was hauling out dumpster loads of the junk he brought home. The restraining order he took out against me was in an effort to be able to stop me from hauling off all his good stuff if he got a call while in Costa Rica from someone, Wendell Williams, ratting me out. His secretary, Ann McQueen, told me about the restraining order and that was why he did it after his disappearance in 1997. I didn't have any idea that he'd done such a crazy thing. It has taken 15 years, but we have almost eliminated all of the junk, unquote. I doubt this program will get into it, but Ann McQueen and Wendell Williams still work together. Search sunbiz.org for all of the corporations that Wendell set up in his kids' names. I believe he still has a big IRS lien against him, so he can't hold title in his own name. The only person claiming that Don was going to divorce me was Ann. I caught Wendell telling Don, quote, remember that $2,000 you owe me, unquote, and Don peeled off $2,000 and gave it to him. A few hours later, I saw Wendell do it again, and because of Don's dementia, he peeled off $2,000 again and gave it to Wendell. I confronted Wendell about it, so I believe he did all he could to get rid of me by lying to Don. I was trying to get Don to an Alzheimer's specialist, but Ann intervened. All of this has been documented in my diary over the years, and is my recorded opinion of the matter. I've given the information to the police and to the press. It always seems more enticing to attract subscribers by leaving these details out. While it is a much smaller detail, I told the reporter that it could not have been me cooking in Don's marital home. Anyone who knows me knows I don't cook. Don had another girlfriend at the time named Pamela Enriquez, and Don would often say she loved him more because she cooked for him. At least Robert Moore included the fact that I told him it couldn't have been me. I said it was most likely Pam. Later I wrote, the meat grinder. Some people make outlandish accusations that Don was run through our meat grinder. I wish I had photos of the thing, because if you saw it, you would see that the mouth of the grinder wouldn't take anything larger than a chicken leg. Not a leg quarter, just the leg. We were using the grinder to try and get our cats onto a balanced dry diet created by Missouri at the time. The cats wouldn't eat the dry diet, so we were mixing it via the grinder by pouring in a few pellets of dry and then a piece of chicken or small chunks of beef that had to be cut into pieces about 1 inch square. It took forever to process a meal, and we could never get the cats to eat more than a 50-50 blend of the dry, so we gave up. The size limitation for intake was obvious. People who make such accusations against me never saw it. I wish they had, and they would know how ridiculous such a statement is. Howie and I sat on the couch cuddling Pearlie and eating popcorn while listening to the last 4 episodes in succession. I was going to sum it up, but Howie copied me on an email he sent that says it all. This is Howie's email. I don't know who it was to. He says, today Robert Moore's 6-segment podcast, about 35 minutes each, called Over My Dead Body About Joe came out. Nothing relevant to our current litigation, nothing there I can see that Jeff could benefit from, but if you are personally interested, it is at Wondery.com. They leak the episodes out one every few days on a number of platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, CastBox, and Wondery.com, but you can hear them all by signing up for Wondery Plus for around $9. We cooperated with Robert, actually spent an enormous amount of time, hoping he would present it in a way we felt good about, and we feel he did. We are pleased. He treated Don's disappearance in a fair and relatively short amount of time, as we discussed. While during the episodes, he gave air to some positive comments about Joe and aired Joe's bashing of us, like Joe's description of Big Cat Rescue from his visit. Towards the end, he pointed out Joe's many lies, gave a positive review of our sanctuary contrary to Joe's description, and pretty much painted Joe as an absolutely horrible person. That was signed Howard Baskin. And Howie wrote to Robert Moore. Well, as you might expect, we listened to the entire podcast pretty much straight through, except for an appointment I had today, with some popcorn during the last episode. We feel you did a fantastic job, Robert. We marvel at the amount of material you had to go through for untold hours to condense it into a very well-orchestrated sequence. Important to us, as you know, we felt you dealt with Don's disappearance fairly and in an appropriately short amount of time. Tonight we are planning champagne and brie to celebrate. Celebrate what? No more questions from Robert Moore. If you're enjoying my diary, please like, share, and subscribe. You can find other ways to connect to me over at bigcatrescue.org/Carole.Baskin.